Hi guys, welcome back to the Paxton Creek Garden on a bi-weekly tour today. There is a lot of things going on in the garden, a lot of things are growing, a lot more fruits are coming out and a lot more flowers, so let's get started. So let's start with the raised bed garden, and here is our raised bed, 16 by 4. And I have cucumbers, eggplants and tomatoes in it. And let's zoom in. So here is my cucumber plant that we did 2G and 3G cutting on. It's grown like a bush, and a big cucumber plant has several big cucumbers and a lot of small female and male flowers. So let's look at the fruits. And there is a one that is growing here. We'll still let it go for 3-4 days and then we'll harvest it. One more big cucumber here. We'll let it grow again for 3-4 days and then we'll harvest it. There are small ones on the right. Here is one more. This is the same one. And there are a couple more female flowers that are about to bloom. So all in all, over the next week and upcoming weeks, we'll have at least 1 or 2 cucumber every day. I'm hoping. So that'll be a good cucumber season this year. And here is a Black Beauty eggplant. They took a heavy beating from flea beetles and Japanese beetles. So I have one plant, this one, that is doing well, and it has set some flowers. Here is one flower, will bloom in 2-3 days, and there's one flower that was pollinated and now turning into an eggplant. So in a week or so, you'll be able to see the eggplant coming out of that flower. And here is a Japanese eggplant. So far this variety has been doing well, even though they took a heavy beating from Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles were such a big problem this year in eggplants, even with spinosad and neem. It seems that they are very tough and don't budge. And here is the Japanese eggplant that's setting. That's the first fruit, and there are a lot more that are setting now, and there are a lot more flowers. Every node has flower on it, and I'm hoping to have a lot more eggplants this year. So I have about 20 some eggplants in this 16-foot raised bed. So hopefully there'll be a lot more eggplants. And as you can see, there are a lot more flowers, and the reason I'm having a lot more flowers in this smaller plant that you see here is because they died off almost completely when we had that first hailstorm in mid-May, and then they grew back up. So now these branches are almost like a third generation branch, so they are just having a lot of blossoms. And I've been watering them using this drip irrigation system every day pretty much, and keeping the soil moist. And since last 2 weeks, these eggplants have put on a lot more growth. We have fertilized that. Here you see an eggplant. This is our early purple long variety organic eggplant, and that's the first one of its kind in my garden, and they will be growing into a big eggplant. So I'm looking forward to that. And there are a lot more that are setting. Here you can see one more, and pretty much all the early purple long variety has at least 1 or 2 eggplants that are already set and will be developing into a bigger fruit for the next week or 2. So I'll keep you up to date on their growth, but it seems like a good variety to grow in your garden. with this Japanese eggplant variety, and here is the another flower from Black Beauty eggplant, and here is the Japanese eggplant variety that you saw earlier, the same eggplant. I'm just showing you a closer shot, and it's gonna be a good eggplant. And looks like a very prolific variety to grow. And here these are the round eggplant variety, the seeds that are Indian variety, and it is also setting up a lot more flowers, and I've been hand pollinating them using a toothbrush. I'll post a video on how to hand pollinate your eggplants using your electric toothbrush or just a simple tap. Eggplants have just same flower. It's a female and male flower in just one flower. It doesn't have a separate flower. It has both components in the same flower. So here you can see three more holy purple long variety setting up eggplants. So, and again the round eggplants. So I have mixed varieties. I have about 4 varieties of eggplants growing in this raised bed, and they are planted throughout. They are not in one row or anything. I just mix matched and put them wherever they went. And here is the fruit setting on the round eggplants. I'll show them once they grow bigger. And I think I'm gonna love all 4 varieties that I have. So we'll stir fry them and we'll share various recipes. All in all, the eggplant bed and all the plants within the bed are doing well, except the Black Beauty eggplant. They took heavy beating, and I only have one plant that is doing good. So here is the tomato bed, 8-foot bed for tomatoes. I put a couple of stakes in it. I have a lot more of Better Boy plants and about 4 celebrity variety, and pretty much all of them have started to set big tomatoes, and they are green. They still have some growing left. They're about their half size, the first generation that came in, and the rest keep coming up, and we've been hand pollinating it. Bees have been working hard, and other pollinators have been working hard, and all in all they are doing well. We had some blossom and rot issue in a couple of plants, but we treated it with a garden lime, and that seems to have taken care of it. I haven't seen a rot in last week or so hopefully that won't be an issue anymore. And they are just doing very good. We haven't had a rain for a while, so the health of the plant is good. We don't have any fungal issue or bacterial issue. We have been spraying spinosad and neem oil on a regime basis, neem oil on the weekly basis and spinosad as needed basis. So that's been taking care of all the bugs. And this is the celebrity variety tomato, and for some reason that's the biggest I have seen. Even Better Boys aren't that big yet. So I'm liking celebrity variety much more because they are like a semi-determinate tomato. Even though they will grow about 4 foot high, they are still considered determinate variety, and they are setting up a lot more flowers and fruits and seem to have no issue. They don't even have a blossom end rot or any other fungal or any other disease. So I'm loving that. And here you can see some garlic and hyacinth bean. I had some space left, so that's what I planted in there, and they are doing well. And again, all in all, eggplant bed and and the tomato bed both are doing very well, and they are setting up a lot more fruits, and we'll be harvesting in upcoming weeks. I think the late July or early August would be the first harvest, so I'm looking forward to that. And this sums up our raised bed tour. We have again tomato plants, some beans, and a lot more eggplants and a cucumber plant in here, and they all seem to be doing very good. So let's start with containers. So here are some flowers, mostly marigold and periwinkles. And here is our basil plant. We have harvested it a couple of times, and it's been doing good in pasta and pizza. So here is the rose plant, and there is some other variety. And here is our jalapeno plant that is loaded with jalapenos. I have hand pollinated some flowers, and because they were setting in early days, and so far I'm loving this. Some of them are ready to harvest, and again these are grown in 5-gallon container, and I'm liking them to grow into this environment because they are just loaded with peppers. So I like it. I like to see them like that. And here is the chili plant, and it is setting up a lot more chilies. This is a real hot variety, Indian variety, and it is a hybrid, and it's putting up a lot more growth and a lot more peppers, so chili peppers. So we'll harvest them about next week. And here is the holy basil, doing so good so far. And here is the Bottlegourd. Here is the same flower this variety. I keep forgetting the name, so I'll leave the name in the comment below. And here is the Bottlegourd plant, or in America we call it kukuzi, I believe, but we call it Bottlegourd. And here is the trellis system that I made for it, and hopefully we'll have a lot more Bottlegourd to harvest. They start producing in about 30 to 40 days. At least start producing flowers and fruits, female flowers. So we'll see how it does. And here is the Italian pepper. We harvested one. It's putting up a lot more flowers, and there's a lot more fruit, but they aren't growing big yet. But now we are seeing so much hot weather, so hopefully it will start to grow bigger fruits. And here is another jalapeno plant that is doing well. It is also loaded with so many jalapeno peppers, and we will be harvesting them. And here is another plant, chili plant, hot chili variety. And again, like I said, in eggplant, and even here we are having a lot of infestation from Japanese beetles, and they just keep eating your plant leaves, and plants take a heavy beating from that. So, and they've been on the backside, they get less sun, and for some reason they have not been flowering, but now I see there are a lot more flowers coming out on them. So hopefully in upcoming weeks there will be a lot more fruits that will set. And here is I think it is called Italian pepperoncini or something, and that's been also loaded with flowers and fruit now. And hopefully we'll have a lot more to harvest in upcoming weeks. So here is the tomato. I thought it was a beef stick tomato, but now I'm thinking it's a Roma tomato, and I have pruned it heavily, so I don't think I'm gonna get many tomatoes out of it. And here is the Bellpepper garden that has beautiful marigold flower plant, and it's been producing very well. And here are a lot more bell peppers that are setting. I'm seeing a lot of flower drops. I think I've been over watering them, and plants weren't that healthy, but now they are grown up, and there is a summer heat coming back, so now hopefully they will be growing healthy and producing a lot more flowers and fruits. So far we have harvested about 10 or so bell peppers from it, and they've been great. So I'm looking forward to more harvest in upcoming weeks. And here is the star of my garden, the patra leaves or urbi leaves or taro leaves, whatever you want to call it. We use the leaves and they have been doing so good. You know, this is just one container and you can see one container has about 10 or more leaves in it that we could use and harvest. So from next week I think we're gonna start to harvest some leaves and start making some various recipes, and that will be delicious, and I'm looking forward to it. I only had 2 bulbs and I made almost about 12 to 15 plants out of just 2 bulbs. So I'm just happy. You know, you can see how to tissue culture them. I'll leave the link below and it's on my channel. And here is the zucchini variety. For some reason I think the vine here you can see some damage, and it's not producing any female flowers. So I don't know what's going on. I'm still watering it, but we'll see what happens. And here is the another holy basil plant, and here is the another variety of holy basil. This variety attracts a lot of bumblebees, so I highly recommend you plant that in your garden. It will attract a lot of bumblebees. And here is another cucumber plant setting up a lot more flowers and female flowers as well, and some of them are pollinated, so we are seeing some cucumbers being set. So I'm just excited. Here is the female flower that just opened today, and hopefully it got pollinated. I do hand pollinate my cucumber flowers too, so if you want to know how to hand pollinate your cucumbers and get more production, stay tuned. I'll post a video on it. So this flower, I'm pretty sure it got hand pollinated because I remember hand pollinating. And the container here is 5 gallon, but I think I only filled out about 3 gallon dirt, about 3 gallon or so worth of dirt, and I have 2 plants, so next year I'll use a bigger container. And here are some zucchini plant that I have started, and some garlic in there. And here are some more chili pepper plant that we did 2G cutting on, and hopefully now that they have grown to a size, they'll put out a lot more flowers, and that will get converted into a lot more chilies for us. And here is another cucumber plants. I have about four different plants, and here you can see a big cucumber. Again, within 3-4 days it will be ready to harvest. So, and there are a lot more that are pollinated, and a lot more others that are coming. And these plants in container, we only did 2G cutting. We will be doing 3G as soon as they reach some height. So then they will have all female flowers, and we'll have a lot more cucumbers. And as you can see, again, Japanese beetle. I'm just hating this word right now because they are a real big problem in my garden this year. Last year I didn't even notice them, but this year it's a real big problem. I've been hand picking them, killing them, and you know, I catch about 20 or 25 some every day, and it's a real big problem. Here is another cucumber plant, has a lot more cucumber on it. Again, that's pollinated, it's growing big, and there are so many female flowers and male flowers. So all in all we have about 6 and 8 plants, and we will have a great cucumber harvest this year. And with this cucumber plant, these bottom leaves are I think it is some kind of fungus issue or something. So, and there are old leaves too, so we'll be removing that, that way the new leaves don't get damaged. And here is the amaranth. Again, like somebody commented in the video, it's not a good idea to put so many amaranth here in the small container. So that is it for container garden, folks. Here is the zucchini plant in the earth bed. Now it's doing better than it was earlier, but as you can see, some of the zucchinis are growing yellow, and I don't think they will be converted into fruit, but there is one that is hopeful, and I'll at least have one from this plant in 2 weeks or so. But I'm looking forward to more harvest from that plant. And here are beautiful marigold flowers that are setting up, and they are also attracting a lot more bumblebees and giving out such a beautiful color in my garden, and I'm just loving it. And here you can see another one, such a beautiful color, yellow, orange, and it just gives out nice look. It also keeps pests away, so I'm liking them for that reason too. And here is the mint bed. We have harvested a lot more mints over the last 2 weeks, and as you can see, it's already putting out a new growth. I've been watering them. With mint, you don't need a lot more care. All you have to do is water it and perhaps fertilize once now and then. But that is it. It just needs a lot more water during the growing season. So as long as you provide water to it, it will have produced a lot more leaves, and it will keep you happy. And as you can see here, we planted some lemongrass that we bought from grocery store. We let it root, and now it's in the ground, and hopefully it will produce a lot more lemongrass. And here are some voluntary amaranth plants, and here is marigold again. I'm loving these dwarf marigolds as well. They're real tiny and produce such a big marigold flowers. And here are some cowbeans, and in this section, in this area, they are not doing such well because I believe there is a lot more mulch, so their roots are growing in mulch rather than in the ground, and that is why they are not doing so well in this part of the bed. So hopefully next year I'll dig it out, and as you can see here, they are not doing well at all. So I replanted some of them, and I also planted some zucchini seeds that are just sprouted. So, and it is right by the drip, so hopefully this zucchini will be such prolific and will give out a lot more zucchini. And here are some more cowbeans on the left, as you can see, and they are doing so well. And the reason I'm believing is the soil. We had put in back soil 2 years ago, and in this area they are doing well. So that's what I'm gonna do in the other section on the right. Put out a lot more compost and soil next year, so hopefully that will be converted into good soil. And here they are growing into 4x4 section, and I have about 30 some plants, so hopefully we'll have a lot many cowbeans to harvest in upcoming weeks. Some of them are already about to flower. And here are the hyacinth beans, and they are doing well. There are two different type of varieties. This one don't produce much leaves. It will start flowering and it will produce a lot many beans. And the one on the right will grow. Some of them will grow into like a vine, and some of them will grow into bush. So they are mixed variety that I planted. So we'll see how it does. And here is another marigold. You can see such a beautiful color and such a tiny plant producing many flowers. So this is up front, and I'm loving it. And here is the blueberry plant. It is doing okay. It's not doing well. It didn't produce much blueberries, and I think most of them were eaten by bird. So we didn't get that many berries to harvest. I think I have to fertilize that berry. And here is again the marigolds, a lot more marigolds, and there are some more flower plants in the back that will be producing flower. I don't know the name of the variety, but I'm loving these marigolds, the dwarf variety, and I'm pretty sure I'll be planting them next year as well. And here are the periwinkles that are coming up, or some people call it vinca. So, and they are mixed varieties, so they'll produce about red, white, and pink flowers. So in upcoming weeks you will see. And here is another marigold again, and as you can see, it's producing many flowers. There are only 3 plants. And here is the hanging basket that's doing such great. So that is it, folks, for the tour. Now let's look at what we did during this last 2 weeks. So we fertilized our eggplant bed using that expert brand organic fertilizer, and I mixed it in well, pretty much one handful per eggplant, and that will keep it fed for the next month or so and keep producing a lot more bulbs. We also added a bone meal to it, and we also continued to hand pollinate the tomatoes. We saw some blossom end rot, so we took care of it by adding some lime, pelted lime, and also added some Epsom salt, and also added some bone meal. And here is the harvest for the last 2 weeks. So we harvested a lot more amaranth from the Bellpepper garden, and they were terrific, no bug damage or anything, and we just loved it. Here are some early patra leaves or taro leaf harvest that we got. We harvested a lot of small leaves and other leaves, and here are some Italian pepper harvest. We only got one, but I was excited as it was our first harvest, and it grown into decent sized pepper, so it was real good to have it. And here is the bell pepper harvest. During these 2 weeks we only got one. Again, weather was fluctuating, and I think I'm overwatering it, so a lot of flowers are setting and then dropping, so now I have turned the water off, and we'll see how it does. We will only water it once a week since it's in the ground. And this is the pepper we got, and some basil that we harvested. So that is it, folks, for today's bi-weekly tour, and hopefully you liked this video. So please press like, and also don't forget to share and subscribe to our channel. And if you also press the bell icon, you will keep getting a regular update from our channel, so don't forget to press the bell icon. See you in the next bi-weekly Paxton Creek Garden tour. Thank you.